Hi, in this lesson we'll do a quick lesson on directed numbers. And for you to get the chance to understand a little bit about certainly the first part of directed numbers, I'm going to use a quick number line here to make a demonstration. So right here, I'll call that 0. This will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, let's stop there. So 8, 6, 4, 2, and I'll do the same thing on this side here, and hope that I have 8 indeed. Yes. Alright, so this is going to be minus 2 here, minus 4, minus 6, and minus 8. Alright, so it's all about the direction in which you are counting, and in this case we're going to go, if we're going positive or we're adding numbers, we'll go that way, and if we're taking away numbers, we'll go this way. So let's have a look at the first quick example. Actually, before we do that, let's get a few things straight. If you see a number, let's just say 2, and you don't see a sign in front of this number, then it means that this number is positive. So this is really a positive 2 if you don't see a sign in front of that number. So you can make that assumption. Some numbers will have signs in front of them. So for example, if you see it looking like that, it means that this is a negative 2. Or we can actually see that negative 2 there. So that'll be a negative 2. All right. Okay, so now that we've gotten that out the way, let's get to work. So let's just say I have got, let's choose some different examples now. So let's just say I've got 2 plus 4. Well, that's easy because everybody who looking at this will pretty much go, well, that's equal to 6. Well, let's talk about the little business behind it here. There is no sign in front this 2, so it's a positive 2. And you've added 4 to it. So you can go to 2 and add 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we know that we're going to get 6 there. We're adding, so we went in that direction. Let's take it with the same numbers, but let's change things up a bit. So let's just say I've got 2 take away 4 this time. All right, well, let's see what that's going to be. Because we're taking away, we need to go in this direction. And we're starting on a positive 2 because there's no sign in front there. So 2, I'm taking away 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, what do you know? Answer is minus 2. So that's going to give us a negative 2 as our answers. Now, as we go through this, try to look for little clues, okay? I'm going to keep these same numbers here now. So this time I'll go for minus 2, minus 4 this time. Okay, minus 2, minus 4. So here I'm starting on a minus 2 because there's a negative there. Starting on that minus 2, and I'm taking 4 away. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Answer is minus 6. By now you should start seeing a pattern. And the pattern you should start seeing straight away is this. Numbers that have the same signs, a positive 2 and a positive 4, basically meant you add the two numbers, so 4 plus 2 is 6, and your answer will be a positive 6. There is no sign there, so we know it's positive. Numbers that have a different sign, positive 2 and a negative 4, well, you can see that you subtract the numbers, so taking 2 from 4 gives us 2, but the 4 had a negative in front of it, and it was, I'm going to be careful how I say this, technically the bigger number. It's got a negative in front of it, so the answer was negative. And again, here we go. Same sign, same sign. We added the numbers. 4 plus 2 is 6, and we kept the sign, which is a negative number there. All right, so that gives us a quick first start into what happens with negative numbers. I'll deal with multiplying and dividing a little bit later in this video. Okay, let's have a look at a nice chart. So here I have a chart that might be useful. Let's put this chart to some use to some extent and see how it works. All right, so given a quick example here using this first rule here, and you can see here what it's actually saying is if I've got a positive number, take away a negative number, I'm going to get a positive answer. Well, let's see why. So here's my example I'm going to start off with. I've got a positive number, take away a negative number there, and let's see what's going to happen. Well, the first thing to notice is that those two, they will multiply and become positive, which means now I need to introduce another rule. If I have a negative times another negative, I'm going to get a positive answer. I probably should write that a little bit differently and give a bit of space. So I've got a negative times another negative gives me a positive answer. Okay, so we're going to put the rules down as we go along. So here we have it. So these two here are multiplying, a negative, so it gets positive. So therefore, that tells me now that I'm going to get 6 add 3, which is equal to 9. All right, let's have a go at another one. Okay, in this second rule, we can see here, it says if you have a negative number, take away a positive number, then you're going to have a negative answer. Well, let's see if this is working out for us here. I have got a negative times a positive here, which means that I can feel yet another rule coming on. And the rule says that if I have a negative multiplied by a positive, then that gives me a negative answer here. All right, and while I'm saying that, I should probably put in the fact that this works for multiplying and dividing. So I probably should put that in there. Yeah, so this is dividing as well, whether you're dividing or multiplying. Okay, so let's make sure that that is really clear. All right, let's get back to our problem at hand. So that basically means now that because you have a negative and a positive multiplying here, you should have a negative answer there. So that will now give us -6 minus 3. And you remember from the page before, if the two signs are the same, I will add these two numbers and keep the sign. So 6 plus 3 gives us 9, and I will keep the minus sign there. All right, let's move on to the next one. Okay, on this one, you will notice that this is a much bigger circle. What it basically means is if you have a big positive number and you take away a small positive number, you're going to have a positive answer. So let's have a look. I wouldn't need to add any rules for that because I've got it all here already. So it's pretty much like saying 7 take away a positive 4. The same rule will apply here, which means that you're going to have a negative number there. So basically, this means that you're going to have 7 just take away 4, and what you have here is a big positive number taking away, a big positive number take away 4 there, and it means that my answer is just going to be 3. And notice that it's a positive 3, so positive answer. All right, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so here we have it again. This rule basically says if you have a small negative number and you take away a bigger negative number, I feel so wrong saying that, and that's generally because the bigger the number looks, so long as it's negative, it's actually smaller. But let's not worry about that. Okay, but so if you have a small negative number taking away a big negative number, it'll give you a positive answer. Well, let's have a look and see. Here I've got a small negative number. Well, 4 is smaller than 6 if you look at it that way. With a small number there, take away a minus, well, a bigger number there. Okay, so let's see what's going to happen. Well, I've got a negative multiplying by a negative, and as you can remember, when a negative multiplies a negative, you get a positive answer. So this will now give us negative 4 plus 6. Now, this looks exactly like that. The only difference is that it's been swapped around, and the bigger number is on the inside here, whereas the bigger number was at the front here, and then you have a minus 4 here. So you do the same thing. You're going to still take 4 away from 6. So this is the same as saying 6 take away 4, which is going to give us a positive 2. And remembering from what we did in the rule just before, the bigger number was positive, so the answer is positive. All right, let's do the next one. Okay, so here we go again. We have a small positive number taking away a bigger positive number, and it means that we're going to have a negative answer. Another way to look at this, based on the chart I'm showing you here, is like hot and cold. The positive numbers are red, meaning hot. The negative numbers are cold, so that they're looking blue. So if you have a small hot number or a small positive number taking away a much bigger number, it means that you're going to end up with a cold answer, a negative answer. So let's have a look and see what that's going to give us. So here you've got a negative multiplying by a positive, and when that happens you get a negative answer. So basically that gives us 4 minus 6 in this case, and this looks pretty much exactly like, well, we can say it looks a bit like this, but but only now we're dealing with just negative numbers. Well, the bigger number being negative, and if the bigger number is negative, you subtract the 2 minus 2. You can go check it on a number line if you want, or another way to look at it is, oh, I don't know, the temperature is 4 degrees and then it dropped by 6 degrees, so what's the temperature now? It's a negative 2, so that's why it's cold here. Okay, if the number that's negative is bigger than the one that's positive, your answer is going to be negative. All right, one last one. Okay, on this last one we can see that if you have a big negative number and you take away a smaller negative number, your answer still remains negative. So let's have a look. I've got a big negative number. I've taken away a smaller negative number. So let's see what happens. Negative multiplying by another negative here means negative times negative. That's a positive answer. So that becomes minus 6 plus 2. And here we've got a big negative number added to a 2, so we know that that's going to be a negative 4. You can think of it in terms of temperature again, where you can say, I don't know, it's minus 6 degrees, and then it went up by 2 degrees, so now it's minus 4. All right, so that's generally how negative and positive numbers work, and you will see this a lot. You need to master this in order to do your algebra work, like expanding brackets and simplifying and stuff, because you're going to need all that there. On this next page, here I've got some questions for you to try out on your own. You pause the video and then work them out, and when you finish, check your answers to see if you've got the same answers I've got. All right, I'm going to show you the answers in a bit. Please pause the video here. All right, guys, so here are your answers. Hope that you got the answers that are there. All right, so good luck with your negative and positive numbers. It's literally the base on which most of your maths is going to depend, particularly in algebra. So be very, very careful with that. All right.